Why not?
Why not? I don't know why. Because we were just wanted to work with Nigel, and it was kind of a joint idea of us to do something that's quite not too creatively demanding, as if we didn't have to write some songs. So it's about just being in his studio for 2 weeks and adapting these covers to make them sort of our own sound between the three of us. And that was it, really. That was the only idea. We didn't really think it would become an album, or we didn't think we'd be here in Mexico. But it's great to be here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they got some classic albums through time, you know, of people doing other cover versions, and, you know, Pin-Ups by Bowie was a great kind of covers album, but, you know, kind of valid album, and, you know, it wasn't just all kind of novelty and kind of money-making thing, you know. So it's just like that, you know. It's just kind of inspired by those kind of albums that, you know, you can hear it's a group of musicians in the studio experimenting, having fun, and playing around with great songs, you know.
It's also, we wanted to make a really good mixtape that we can just have, you know, like some of our favourite songs on, and then
like you do your first girlfriend, you make her a tape of all your favourite songs, you know.
Or boyfriend. I think there is a little bit of Frank Zappa in there somewhere. We were all quite kind of fans of Frank Zappa, but it wasn't really because of the Frank Zappa album that we chose Hot Rats. It's more just a name that's been hanging around, and it was actually an old sort of thing of Gaz's email, his old email ad. So there's no real direct reference to Frank Zappa, so yeah.
It's got a bike, you can ride it if you like. It's got a basket, a bell that rings and things to make it.
No, not really. We were in like young bands at school, and we definitely played a few, you know, I think we played a bit of Dinosaur Jr. and Smiths and stuff, and things that were around in like 80, 87, 88, you know, when we had our first band. But no, we used to write songs then. I think we've always written songs since we were kind of 12 years old. We'd sort of, you know, written strange, silly songs. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, you know, because I don't know. That's just it's all very well playing other people's songs, but I think we've always wanted to write, and it's still the same now. This was just a fun project to do. So
I play on little plastic boxes with chopsticks. But then, you know, the whole idea of writing songs when you're sort of 10 or 11 is they're just kind of like comedy songs, like songs with funny lyrics to make your friends laugh, really. And then slowly you learn how to write sort of structures to songs.
Yeah, I was definitely never one of those people that could play all the Beatles songs on acoustic and stuff, you know. No, I mean, I just never used to sit in my room and play along to other records. I mean, I don't mean to sound sort of pompous, but I just used to play my own chords or just write my own little things. You know, I felt like I'm not good enough to play that George Harrison, so I won't bother. I'll leave him to do it, and I'll do my own part.
Where I live in my little town, there's a Bowie one. Oh yeah, there's a good Bowie one. They did a Ziggy Stardust kind of era. They played at a party that I did, which was fun.
Do you remember the name?
They're called.
There's an Absolute Bowie.
Oh yeah, that's it. Absolute Bowie. But then there's another one that do like a Who tribute band. They're quite funny. But they're more like, it's more funny. You know, it's like you get drunk.
That sounds fine.
Yeah. Some of them, yeah. The ones, you know, obviously there's like really important songs that are very famous and stuff, and maybe songs that you wouldn't really want to do covers of.
What do you mean? I remember, yes.
So we kind of chose ones that, some of them were like a bit, you know, less famous and stuff. What's the word for less famous? Less well known.
But no, I didn't really know Mirror in the Bathroom that well. I'd heard Mirror in the Bathroom, like, actually it's not on the album, but it's one of those songs that we recorded, but I wasn't too familiar with it. I heard it off and on over the years, but it didn't really kind of sink in. So that was, you know, it's more one of Nigel's favourite songs, and so because it's sort of the three of us doing it. So, you know, there's a couple of songs. Yeah, there's a couple of songs that were more Nigel's choices, and there was a few that were more Danny's choices, and one, you know. But we'd all kind of go, yeah, that's great, let's do it. So it was a kind of collaborative thing, but. Yeah. Well, it's going to be exciting and loud, you know, and we're playing really well at the moment, and it's kind of just really, you know, really vibey on stage, and it's kind of like party, you know, it's like coming to a party. So, and you're having great music playing in the background, you know. Really, I don't know. It's more than that, but it's kind of, you know.
We're kind of like human jukebox, so 'cause we just kind of. It's like listening to jukebox, but it's a live band doing it.
And there's nowhere to put the money in. Ooh. Yeah.
There's one on the horizon. We've kind of about halfway through working out some songs. We'll probably write a few more songs, and then you know, hopefully it'll be finished around the summertime. So it will be released either late this year or next year. But you know, the plan is that there's another album coming out soon.
And then, you know, tour of Mexico, maybe. Yeah? Yeah?
Expecting like years ago, like,
I don't know why. Well, yeah, it's inexplainable. I don't know why we haven't been. But
Maybe we'll wait. We had to practice a lot for a few years. And then when we come to Mexico now, we'll be really good, and we'll have more songs to choose from. So a better album. I mean, a better gig. Yeah.
can you say in Spanish like saludos a los lectores de Marvin? No? Saludos a los lectores de Marvin? No? Okay, in English. In English, okay? Lectores is readers. Marvin is the name of the...
Marvin.
Saludos.
Salud, Torres.
Oh, Marvin.
Like Marvin Lee.
Salud.
Saludos
Saludos
a los lectores
a los lectores.
de Marvin.
Saludos a los lectores.
Lectores.
Saludes a los lectores. Marvin. Okay?
The hot
Yeah.
rats.
Hot rats.
Adiós, amigos.